Hello, everyone, and welcome back to That's So Matthew. I am so excited to have a very special guest here with me today, Isabel from the Just Isabel Things podcast. Say hi.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And today, we are so excited to be talking about the 2006 Disney Channel original movie, Cheetah Girls 2. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It is the very best Cheetah Girls.
It's the best.
There's no arguments. There is no arguments. Leading up to today's episode, me and Isabel both put something on our story to see which Cheetah Girls was the superior in the eyes of our audiences. Cheetah Girls 2 won for me. That was the final total, was Cheetah Girls 2.
Cheetah Girls 1 and never seen Cheetah Girls 9. Cheetah Girls 2 got 3 votes, and I was like, no way. Like, this is slander.
That's horrible. No, I'm very disappointed.
Cheetah Girls 2, Queen Raven deserved more.
I feel like everyone in this movie, like even the third one, like no one, I think only one person put the third one for me, which was good because that one is like not the best. But now we get to talk about it. But before we get into that, if you want to share a fun fact about yourself, Isabel, like maybe about your podcast, your life.
Okay. Yeah, I can do a fun fact. So, fun fact, I've actually been to Barcelona, which is actually great fitting for this episode.
Because yes. I've never been to Barcelona before.
Because Cheetah Girls 2 takes place in Barcelona. And I actually did not like Barcelona.
Oh, is it not like they showed in the movie? Like, we need to know the real questions.
The thing was, I only spent a day there.
Okay.
So, it was like really hot. And I was just like cranky for some reason. I was in like 6th or 7th grade. So, I mean, yeah. But my name's Isabel. I'm the host and creator of the Just Isabel Things podcast. I'm a teen podcaster, senior in high school, and I just pretty much talk about anything and everything. I've been doing this for about 10 months now, and if you want to check me out, you can follow me on Instagram at just.isabel.things.podcast, and I hope that you check out my episodes, and I hope to meet you all.
Yes, so make sure you guys go check her out and you guys can listen to all of her amazing episodes. I was just listening to one the other day. The financial creator one with Zoe Abbott was really good. So she has so many amazing topics. Go check her out. All right, so now the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Cheetah Girls 2, let's get started. So on the podcast, if you are new here, we always start with a brief overview of the show or movie. Today it is a movie, and it is a 2006 Disney Channel original movie, aka a DCOM, that is a sequel to Cheetah Girls, which, fun fact, I just covered last week on the podcast, so you guys should all go listen to that with the amazing Tori of the Ready to Be Petty podcast. Go check it out. That was a really good episode, and now we're following it up with the even better Cheetah Girls here today.
So excited.
A fun fact, which I actually did not know, is that this movie is directed by Kenny Ortega, who is the director of High School Musical, as well as Descendants and Dirty Dancing.
Kenny.
I love him. He is amazing. He has done so many amazing things, and I feel like I did not know he was part of the Cheetah Girls project. And so I feel like I am such a fake fan. However, he only did the choreography, I believe, in this film, and that's why it's so good. The choreography, I was just like, wow. It was very good, and this movie really blew me out of the water. I didn't watch it in like a year, and it was just so good. As well, it is about the Cheetah Girls who take a trip to Spain to perform in the Barcelona up-and-coming singers competition, and they try to win, obviously. It's like a talent show, but more amped up. The first one, they also are part of a talent show, but the stakes in this one are very high, much higher. And also, this takes place like 3 years.
International talent show.
Yes. It takes place like 3 years after the first one, which I'm actually glad, because the first one, they felt so young. And we were talking with my guests. I was like, no teen, 8th grader would do this. Like, I mean, some might. I mean, I started a podcast in 8th grade, but like...
The first one was very early 2000s. The fashion, just the camera angles, and the first one was very, very early 2000s.
It just screamed early 2000s.
And I just watched the first one like last week, because I haven't seen it in probably like Oh yes, because I haven't seen Cheetah Girls 1 in probably 10 years. Um, and I watched it last week and I was like, this is so like it's so early 2000s, like it's almost cringy early
Oh,
2000s. Um,
yeah, I said that in the episode, and I was
yeah.
like, it's a good movie, but I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10, which is kind of low, but like, this movie's better. I won't tell you what I'm gonna rate it. I have it down in my notes right here next to me, but you guys, this one
Ooh,
is so much better.
I'm very interested.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, also another thing that I
Okay.
really liked about this movie is it's a lot more musical than the first one,
Yes.
which makes it a lot better. This one feels so High School Musical, and I feel like it's because of Kenny Ortega,
Yeah.
because it just feels so good. The music is much better. And we can also talk about our favorite songs because this one had some good bops in it. But it also is one of the highest rated Disney Channel original movies with
Mm-hmm.
8.1 million viewers, which actually is more than High School Musical at first, which is very
Really?
excited. Very exciting. And it also beat the winner at the time, which was Cadet Kelly, starring Hilary Duff. And it
Oh.
is the most viewed film of the trilogy because it is the best, obviously.
It's the best, obviously.
And also, oh, you can go.
Okay, it's funny because I don't remember when the first one came out, obviously, because I was born in 2003. The movie came out in 2003. So I don't remember when like the first one came out, but I do remember when the second one and the third one came out. More the third one, just because I was in like kindergarten when it came out.
Yeah.
But and like the second one, very, very like faintly kind of remember it coming out. And yeah, when was the first time you watched the second one? Do you
I think
remember?
the second one, the first time I had watched it, as a child, I only remember ever seeing like commercials for like the third one, which is not very good in my opinion. No hate, but
No.
hate. And so I feel like I do recall like watching like Disney Junior at the time, and they would always like have the commercials of them dancing like in the streets of India. Like I can just picture it. But I don't think I actually watched Cheetah
Mm-hmm.
Girls until like three
Yeah.
years ago. And it was so good. I binged all of them in
Okay.
like a day. Like a day, all three of them. But obviously, I was like, okay, the third one I could have
That's
waited till
awesome.
tomorrow. But these movies are so iconic. And I just am so glad that I'm actually talking about these because no one before you and Tori had wanted to talk about the Cheetah Girls. Isn't that like horrible?
That is so,
They're so fake, but it's okay.
again, the slander.
The slander is not okay, but we're here today and we're going to talk about it. And also, this is the last one with Raven Symone, who I love Raven. And I'm really sad because she should have been in the third one, but she was too busy pursuing other things.
Yeah.
So, very upset about that.
Yeah.
But I think it's
And
time.
like, yeah.
I think it's time to get into the
Yeah.
episode. Let's get into the meat and potatoes today. Also, I didn't share a fun fact. I always try to share a fun fact. What's my
Oh, oh
fun
yeah, go
fact for
ahead.
today? Oh, I don't know. I've been running out of fun facts, guys. I've been doing these fun facts for over a year now, and like every time it gets harder and harder to think of something. My fun fact today is that I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning and just could not go back to sleep. It's like the weekend. I should be sleeping, guys. But I was up and just like doing nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am recording a podcast episode today. And so I had to like prepare and get all my notes organized. So that's my fun fact is that I had a very hectic day. I also made Instagram posts today and TikTok. So you guys should go follow both of those
Ooh.
because we love TikTok. It's actually been very fun. So you guys need to follow me there because we got to get those likes and followers up. Also follow Isabel on TikTok too.
Oh yeah, follow me on TikTok too. Just Isabel Things podcast on TikTok.
Because you got to see her DM diaries, guys. Those are so funny.
Oh God.
They're just, I love it. It's so chaotic. All right,
Oh.
guys, let's get into it. We'll start off with the brief, or not the brief. We already did the brief overview. I'm a mess. Okay, Raven Symone as Galleria. Love Raven. Galleria in this film, like the first one, is still taking the lead of the group. She's like the only character that they give like actual
Mm-hmm.
plot to, which is a disgrace because the other girls, like we said, have been slandered on.
That's
This movie, she is still leading the pack of the group. She is basically the reason they're going to Barcelona because she makes a wish upon a star, very Disney like. and finds the Barcelona up and coming amateur artist. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like Raven. However, Galleria in this movie was just not my favorite. I feel like the other girls, like the first one, she was definitely my favorite. But I
Yeah.
feel like this one, it would either have to be Dorinda or like Aqua Net, whichever, if you want to call her
Mm-hmm.
Aqua Net. But I feel like those are my favorite. However, Galleria did impress me just because she's always like singing, and Raven's outfits in this movie were like
Yes.
iconic.
We'll talk about the outfits later because the outfits like deserve like a whole different like yeah.
They literally deserve
Um
their own section of the
they deserve their own
podcast.
section, of course. Yes. I don't know who my favorite characters were, but it seemed to me that like so you have Raven, she's like has her own kind of like storyline in the first one where or not in the first one, in this one, in the second one, where she's like trying to get the group together, trying to get everyone focused, and then like Dorinda has like the boy, and then like Chanel's like dealing with like her stepdad, and and then like Aqua, like yeah, she like has her like fashion thing, but I feel like they could have done more with her. But like yet again, like she does kind of like get more of a storyline in the third one.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Also, for anyone who's not listening to the podcast, we all predicted that my sister was just going to come in
She
to
just
my
walked in.
bedroom. She just walked in and brought Starbucks.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I wish my sister would do that, but no. Love that.
no.
What'd you get?
Okay, what do we have? I don't know. It's a
Oh,
nitro cold brew, which sounds good, but it also sounds like I'm going to be up for a while. But that's okay because I got a lot of stuff to
you
do.
got up at 6, so you
I
deserve
got up
it.
at 6. Also, I have like 2 podcast episodes to edit, so I'm going to be busy
Ooh,
for a
good
while.
luck.
Okay.
Good luck.
Back to Galleria. Raven Symone, iconic. Galleria, like I said, not my favorite, but she still leads the group. And I feel like in the first one, she was very responsible for keeping the group going.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, she's also responsible, but in a different way because I feel like they focus so much on her in the first film that in this film, I'm glad that
It's more like spread out.
yeah, they spread the love a little
They
bit
spread it out.
because in the first one, that was like one of the things I said in the first episode. I was like, the only character that got like any development was Galleria. Like the other girls were just there for decoration. And I feel like for this film, they
Just
evened it
there,
out.
yeah.
So I'm so glad that
Yeah, that's
Disney did
true.
that. But Raven Symone, you can't beat her. She's still on Disney Channel, guys. She's in Raven's Home. I haven't watched it in like
She never ages.
she doesn't. She literally doesn't,
No,
and it's crazy. Like I can't even understand. Like she looks the same. Like that's so crazy.
yes, and it's yeah, that's a Raven. I've watched some episodes like with my sister, and I mean it's not a horrible show. It takes place in Chicago, which is where I'm from. It's cool. I mean, I didn't really watch a lot of or That's So Raven when I was like, like in 2006, 2007, like when the show was
Mm-hmm.
out. And I do watch some parts of Raven's Home.
Yeah, no, it's so good. I did an episode on That's So Raven a really long time ago. It was one of the first ones I ever did with one of my
Ooh,
teachers, which is really cool.
that
When I,
is cool.
and so she watched it as a child, so it was mostly for her. But like I had seen like some episodes. This was before Disney Plus too, so like I had to like really do some digging to watch these episodes.
True.
But I did it, and you guys should go listen. I think it's episode 6. Episode 6. Check it out. All right, guys, back to the Cheetah
Back
Girls.
to top.
All up next, we have Adrienne Houghton, who plays Chanel. And Chanel, honestly, in this film, I feel like got most of the love.
Yeah, because a lot like yeah, they went to Barcelona for like the music thing. But like without Luke, like they wouldn't be in Barcelona, like
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of it is like about her and like her mom like wants to get the ring, or her mom like wants to get married. But yeah.
That plot was so annoying, and I'll tell you why, guys. Because the entire time, like, the mom is like, is he gonna propose to me or is he not gonna propose to me? And then she's like, I think he might propose, but what if he doesn't propose? Like, the entire time, she's just contradicting herself. Like, is it gonna happen or not? And I was
Yeah.
like, come on, girl. Like, make up your mind. But then in the end, he, like, does come to her first and was like, can I marry your mother? I don't know what the exact dialogue was. It's been a while since I watched the film and, like, wrote
Yeah.
it down. He's like, can I get it? And she's like, oh, of course. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, Like, you knew this was gonna happen. Like, the whole reason that they're there is because of this
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
and she's trying to act so surprised. I was like,
And he has money.
he
He
does.
is
He's rich,
rich.
rich. Like, he's making the bank. I was just like, okay, you knew
Yes.
this was coming, and that's one of the big downfalls, specifically of movies like this, is the way that they just like the acting is so cringe. I mean, it's Disney Channel, so like,
Yeah.
what do we expect? But the way that they just like do it is like so cringy. Like, she knew it was gonna happen. What was she like
Yeah,
expecting?
yeah. Especially like when that movie
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh, it's okay. It's Disney. We can't come at them too much, but it's still pretty good because it is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sabrina Bryan
Yeah.
plays Dorinda, and in the first
Yeah.
film, throughout the entire first episode, I just called her Doe.
And we should also talk about I love yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're so laggy. I feel like
What?
we're so laggy. Like, we're in like totally different
I think
time
we're good
zone.
now.
Okay, I think we're good. We're back. But all of a sudden, like, you were
Okay.
talking and then you weren't, and I was like, okay, I think she's done. So then I went on, but then you were still talking. It's just
Sorry.
you were frozen and like not saying anything. So it's okay.
Oh, okay. Are we good? I think we're
I
good.
think we're good. Okay.
Okay. But I was just gonna say I love Galleria's mom. I think she's a queen.
I think she's the queen too. In the first film, she is like the iconic queen. She's the one watching out for the group. She's like, "You
Mm-hmm.
guys are gonna get hurt. You guys are gonna get hurt." And they're like, "No, we're not. No, we're not." And then they got hurt. The mom,
Yeah.
she's the MVP. She is the
Yes.
the most iconic mom, and her outfits also were a serve.
Yes.
I feel like
And
everyone's outfits in this movie were just amazing.
oh, for sure. For sure. And I think in real life, the Galleria's mom in the movie is like really good friends with Oprah, which makes sense because like she's a queen, Oprah's a queen, they're both queens.
I
She
love
plays a queen, you
Oprah.
know, like
She's
what?
amazing. I love Oprah.
Yeah,
Oprah is I haven't heard from like I haven't seen her in a while. Like, is she like still okay? Like,
probably. She's probably like giving away money or something. I don't know.
no, I literally haven't seen her in a hot sec. So hopefully
True.
Oprah is going on with her life okay.
I think she has a podcast.
That's cool. No, I love how many celebrities are starting a podcast in
Oh
quarantine
my God.
because you know like the reason I like it is because like then more people know about podcasts and then that
Yeah,
gives me
that's
more
true.
of a
That is
chance
true.
of me getting more people listening. However, it does take away from like the smaller independent podcasts. So like I guess you could see both
Us.
sides. But no, I like one of my friends, she goes for the longest time she wouldn't listen to my podcast. And then I think she started listening to like David Dobrik's podcast and now she loves my podcast. So I was like, okay, thank you, David Dobrik, for
Oh
like
wow. Yeah.
inspiring.
Hopefully it happens. Yeah, to
But
us.
still, like I just feel
Like
like,
hopefully people like get more.
yeah, like I think Colleen Ballinger, who plays Miranda Singh, started a podcast. Like so many people are starting
Hmm.
podcasts, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, but also the more podcasts the merrier, but preferably independent
True.
podcasts. I try to like balance out my podcasts between like famous people podcasts and like independent podcasts. But I don't really listen to too many
Hmm.
famous people podcasts. They're more just like podcasts that like I would say like they're like a D-list celebrity maybe. Like they're not like top tier celebrities.
True. Did you
So,
ever watch Dance Moms?
yes, I did actually.
Have
That's
you listened to the Dance Moms podcast?
They have a podcast? I did not know this.
Yes. You it's called oh, what is it called? It's called Mother Knows Best or oh, it's like Mother Said So or
Okay, let me look it up, guys. We're on a live podcast discovery here, everyone. I love when this happens because it just shows that we're like humans and we're not just robots talking about
yeah,
stuff.
it might be like Mother Knows Best or Mom Said So, something like that.
Okay. And if I can't find it, because mom said so, is
Yeah.
that what it's called?
Yeah, because
Oh,
Mom Said So.
oh my gosh. I have to listen. I found it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so hey everyone, we're back. We had a little bit of a connection problem, but I think we're back and better than ever. And so we're gonna pick
Yes.
back up with Dorinda, who, as we were saying, I loved her the most in this movie because she got a storyline, she got a love interest, she fell in love in Barcelona, very romantic Hallmark movie vibes, and I loved it.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
I would agree.
and they dance together, which is really cute because in the first
Yeah.
movie you see her sing her song and she's dancing, and then in this one she's dancing with him and they're like tangoing, and then he's teaching her to tango and then she's teaching him to hip hop, and it's like it's really cute. So
Hmm.
she's probably my favorite out of the Cheetah Girls in this film.
In the movie. Yeah. I don't know if I would have a favorite. But the song we might like we'll probably talk about the music later, but the song Dance, I think it's Dance Like Me,
Yeah, that
that's
is what it's
played.
called.
That is like I love that song and it's always on my Spotify like of the year. Like my Spotify
Your
top,
Spotify Wrapped. Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
it's
I love that.
always on there, like in my top like 100 list. And the song is by Drew Seeley and Belinda, who plays Marisol, is in the movie as well.
Yeah, no, Drew Seeley, isn't that the guy that sings for Troy Bolton in High School Musical in the first one? Because I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it is.
yeah.
And so
Hmm.
like Kenny Ortega was really getting Drew Seeley's money these in this year, like Cheetah Girls 2 and High School
Yeah.
Musical in the same year.
But he has like a
No,
good voice, so
he does. And this movie, Dorinda, I'm really glad that she actually got something to go off of. Sabrina Bryan also is always just one of my favorites. She always just kind of gives me like good vibes. However, I haven't really seen anything from her in a while, so I don't know if she's still like going in the acting industry or.
I just looked her up on Instagram and I know she was on Dancing with the Stars maybe like
Oh my
10, no,
gosh,
not 10,
Dancing with the
like
Stars.
8 years ago maybe.
Yeah, it was a while.
Um,
I remember that. I always used to watch that with my grandma. We would always watch Dancing with the Stars.
love that. And then she just had a kid this year, I think, or maybe last year, but yeah, she just had a kid recently, so yeah,
Oh,
which is really
so
weird.
that I feel like every celebrity is having a kid. Like that's
True.
funny. And it's actually not funny, but like it's just weird because like they all happen in quarantine, so like they're not missing out on work, which is like crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing. They're iconic. Okay. So from there we can talk about Kylie Williams, who plays Aquanetta, who also had really good outfits in this movie. I feel like everyone. We can't just like
Yeah,
say one person had good outfits. They all had good
they all
outfits.
like had good outfits, yeah.
And in this film, she is very, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they portrayed her as like the girl that is like trying to ruin the fun for no reason. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
why. She's like, they just, I don't know, they didn't give her like much to go off of. They didn't like give her any fun plot. And like, whenever she would say something, I felt like she was always like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't do this. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if it was
Out of the
just
four,
me.
yeah, out of the four girls in Cheetah Girls 2, she had no like she was the least amount of like developed character, I thought.
Yeah, and that happened in the first movie too. Like I talked about it. I was like, my comparison was her to Karen Smith and Mean Girls. She's just there.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Like I just didn't like that because I it's just she had such good opportunities for
Hmm.
growth.
They could have done a lot more with her.
Yeah, and this movie's like really long. They could have got rid of some of like the filler stuff and like maybe gave her some development. That would have been great.
Yeah. Like she does like have like the little like fashion like outings, but that's like
It's so basic. It's
yeah.
so predictable. And I wish they would have just
Hmm.
taken some risks a little bit and like gave her something to work off of. That
True.
might be an unpopular opinion. And if you guys disagree with me, that's okay. So let me know on like Instagram because I always love hearing your opinions of the movies, especially if like I hated the movie. I'll always get that one DM. Oh my gosh, I love this movie. How could you
How
hate
dare
it?
you?
No, I actually got hate one time about it. And I was like,
Ooh,
okay. First off, don't hate on a teenager. Like, and it was like a full grown adult too. I was like,
this
I'm a
is Disney Channel.
teenager. Like, this
This
is
is
Disney Channel. It's a podcast I do for fun. I don't make any money off of really. Like, please just, why are you doing this? So then I had to reinforce that I will not take any hate. And if you hate on me or if you like say something bad about my guest, and then they started hating on my guest, and I was like, too far, and I blocked them. And I was like,
oh good.
if you
Move.
hate on the
Cut move.
podcast on me, the guests, what I think, get out. Like I'm blocking
Bye.
you.
We don't want
So
you here.
if you guys disagree with me on like any of the films, please be polite about it because we can all disagree and still be nice about it, and I won't block you. But in this movie, Aqua just still got
She's just
nothing,
there.
and I felt bad because I'm even thinking the third one, but I haven't watched it in like such a long time, and I have no anticipation to watch it.
Same.
I would be interested to see what they do with her in that one, so I might have to check it out. But I'm just not a fave of that movie,
Yeah.
and I'm not covering it in February on the podcast with the other two, so that should tell you all you need to know about how I feel.
Yes. Do you want to move on to Marisol and her mom?
Yes, because okay, we can talk about Marisol first because I don't hate her. She is like
No.
good intentions, good intentions. At first, they portray her to be the villain, and she is not the villain here.
No, she's just like doing like what her mom said, like, get close with Chanel, but she just like she's nice about it. Like, in that scene where it's her and Chanel like on the steps, and Raven is comes up, or I'm sorry, or Galleria comes up and is like, "Hey Chanel, like we're supposed to rehearse. Like, why are you hanging out with
Mm-hmm.
Marisol?" And Marisol was like, "I just didn't like walk in here. Like we were like planning on hanging out."
Yeah. Oh, that scene was very annoying, but the outfits were really good.
Yes.
The scene,
Yes.
she's just like they portrayed her to be like such a villain, and they're like, oh, she's trying to tear apart their friendships. Like, no, 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 that's not the case here. And then it turned out, spoiler alert, to be the mom was the true villain.
Yes. So, fun fact, I'm gonna throw in a fun fact. So on I did some digging. So Raven like really distanced her, like she felt very like off screen there was like a lot of drama, and like that's like part of the reason why she didn't come back for 3. And there was like a bunch of drama, and she felt like it was like the set life was like really clicky, and she actually got really close with Marisol play or she got really close with Belinda, played by Mary's. Wait, how did I?
Mary
She got
Soul, who's played by Belinda,
yes,
Belinda, sorry.
Belinda. Yes, and they're actually like friends today, which is really weird.
Yeah,
Like this weird dynamic.
that's now that like you say it, like it makes sense. But like I feel like the excuse that they used was that Raven was like on That's So Raven at the time,
Yeah.
which I mean makes sense, but like that actually makes a lot more sense because
Mm-hmm.
like she wouldn't just like leave. And a fun fact for anyone who's some of my email subscribers, at the bottom, it's like if you want to pull a Galleria and leave just when things got good, you can unsubscribe, which I thought was like kind of funny because like you could be like you're leaving the group. But
Yeah.
no, that's actually really interesting, and thank you for sharing your fun fact.
Yes. I have
Okay.
more. I will continue to share them throughout the
Yes.
episode.
Okay.
But yeah.
So back to Mary Soul. Also, she's a really good singer. When in the
Mm-hmm.
finale, when they're like singing their song, and she's like, they're like, Mary Soul, come on up. And then she sings. She was so good. Honestly,
Yeah.
arguably, she
Yeah.
was better than the Cheetah Girls in that
Yeah,
song.
she's like a professional singer in Spain, like now.
Yes, I love it. I love it. No, she was really good, and I honestly have never. I know very, very, very little Spanish, so I couldn't really tell what she was singing. I take
Same.
French for high school,
Yes. I
but
took
I'm not
French
that good
freshman and
at.
sophomore year.
I am in French 2 right now, and the teacher,
Ooh.
she's not the best, but
Okay.
we're here and we're talking about Spanish people, Spanish speaking. But Mary Soul, I actually honestly loved her, and I feel like she was a great addition. And frankly, if they would have replaced Mary or Galleria with Mary Soul in the third film, it would have changed the whole dynamic, and I would have
I didn't
loved it.
even think about that.
But like in the end, she was basically a Cheetah Girls member. So like,
Yeah,
why
that's
they
true. They
should have
like brought
just
her on stage and they like performed,
yeah,
and yeah.
they should have just replaced Galleria with her.
That would have been really interesting, and it probably would have made the movie a lot better.
Disney, please hire me. Thank you.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
hire
For
me.
all the ideas.
All the ideas. Okay. So I don't know. I frankly don't remember what Marisol's mom's name is. So I can't tell you who plays her.
Oh,
Frankly,
the person who plays her, her name's Kim Manning.
Kim
I look,
Manning.
and I
Okay.
don't think she is from Spain, just based on her name. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. and her mom's name is Lola. And now
Lola,
the
right?
way I
Yeah.
remember that is because I'm pretty sure there's like Bugs Bunny and there's like a Lola Bunny that's like his like girlfriend or whatever, Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny. I don't know. So like that's the connection that I
Good.
make whenever
Yeah.
I hear Lola. But she was evil. I was trying to remember like why what she did, but she snitched on the Cheetah Girls for like not being amateur artists like they said that they were because they did a concert.
And the dancing cat owner guy paid them.
Yeah, so I feel like that still makes them amateur, but like this lady Lola, the evil villain of the film, was like,
Mm-hmm.
"You're not amateur. You can't be part of this. So now, uh, you need to leave." And it was basically so that Mary Soul could win because this was her third try, I think they said,
Yeah.
for her to win. And so basically, she wanted to get rid of the competition, which she was just annoying. I don't know. I knew from the beginning that I didn't like her, but I just thought it was just like because I didn't like her. But then she ended up being the villain. So,
Yeah. Um, and then like I don't know if you remember this, but it was original. So like after like the Cheetah Girls got kicked off, um, it was gonna be Chanel and Mary Soul like gonna perform, and they were
mm-hmm.
about to perform, and then like the owner of like the music competition was like found out because of Angel, and we should probably talk about Angel.
We should.
Should we do it now?
I feel like we should because I don't want to talk about this Lola character any
No.
longer. She was very not likable. That's the point. Okay. What was Angel? Angel.
Yes.
That's who we're talking about. Who's played by Peter. I'm sure this is actually a Spanish last name. So I'm gonna say Vives, but I'm sure there's like an accent on the E, but I can't do the accents very well,
Yeah.
so I'm not even gonna try. Angel, honestly, he was probably one of my favorites in the film that wasn't a cheetah girl because
Hmm.
he's one of the many people that they met in Barcelona.
Hmm.
And he is like the guy. He's the one with the curly hair.
Yeah.
And he sings with them, which also I have a little fun thing about him that I just thought was hilarious is
Mm.
that in this film, whenever they're singing, like I think Strut, and in the finale, it
He's
sounds
not
like
playing guitar.
he's not playing. He's like they like he's playing the guitar, but that's not an electric guitar. But you hear an electric guitar in the track. Like I was like, no, Disney, come on, you know better than this.
Yeah.
Like I was like, what are you doing? Like he's just there, like strumming this guitar that it's not an electric guitar, but they make it sound like an electric guitar. I
Yeah.
was like, what? But
Yeah.
also, I really liked him. He was very romantic. I was kind of thinking that maybe, like, in the beginning when they first met, like, maybe him and Galleria.
I'm glad they didn't though.
Yeah, me too. Because, like, she already had enough going on in the first film.
Yeah, like she did not need to deal with like another boy. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just like kind of glad that they had like that connection, but it didn't turn out to be like a romantic connection.
yeah.
And I feel like Disney doesn't do that very often.
Yeah, which is really good because usually when I'm watching a DCOM, specifically like an early 2000s DCOM, which most of my episodes have been early 2000s lately, I can predict the entire film within the first 10 minutes. And this movie, like I said, I hadn't watched it in a while, so I didn't really remember all the specifics. And I was like, okay, so Gallery's gonna end up with him, and then, but like in the end, they're gonna have like a bad breakup because she has to go back to America. But that didn't happen. But I'm glad that
Mm-mm.
it didn't. And yeah, so Angel, he ended up being the hero and really good, and then he got to play with them in the finale,
Yeah,
play,
that
quote
was cool.
unquote, play
Play.
with them. And he also, like, you could actually hear him singing a little bit. I think you could hear like a
Yeah.
little male voice, like very, very ever so faintly in the background. But
Hmm.
he was good. I don't
Yeah,
really
I
have
really
bad
liked
things to say about
his
him.
character, and I liked what Disney did with it, and they didn't really turn him into like a romantic, like a boy. Like he didn't
Yeah,
fall in love with anyone, which is a rare for Disney
it really is. Frankly, Disney forces all these relationships. So I have a lot of respect for them for not doing
doing
that
that.
specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, so up next, there was only like one other character that I really wanted to talk about in depth besides the plot, and that
Okay.
was the love interest of Dorinda, who is
Yeah.
like the dancer, who we touched on briefly. However, I always say this name wrong, and I know it's like Joaquin, maybe.
Hmm.
Okay,
That's good.
so I really suck at saying names.
No,
For
you're
anyone
good.
who's a returning listener of the podcast, I recorded an episode yesterday, and I think I butchered every single actor's name, and I
Love
was
that.
like, "Oops!" But okay, so Joaquin, he is like we said the love interest, and the reason I liked him is because there's only one scene, and the only reason I like him is because like they hug, and then afterwards he like says her name, like really cute, and he's like
Oh, and he's like,
he feels so
Dorinda.
accomplished that he is
Yes.
like dating, and I thought it was the cutest thing. I was
Yeah.
obsessed. And they also like dance, and it's like cute, and then he's in the finale, and the finale also we because Kenny Ortega did the choreography, obviously the choreography was amazing, and
Yes.
like they
Throughout
were
the whole movie. Um, but yeah,
I feel like
I wonder what he's gonna do if he's gonna do any other Disney ones. Because what was the last thing he did for Disney? Descendants.
Descendants. Oh no, does I don't know if he did. No, Paul Hone, who is a very iconic Disney director, did Zombies, so that wasn't him. But he's also I don't know if you've watched the series. I have not, but I've heard a lot about it. It's on Netflix. Something like Phantoms, Julie and the Phantoms. I think that's what it's
Oh, I've heard
called.
of it. Yeah, he didn't he do stuff
Yeah,
with that?
he did that, and so I have not watched it. And I don't know how much he's involved with High School Musical, the series.
I don't
Which
know.
there's been a lot of drama with that, guys. If you guys are following, you got Olivia
We might have
Rodrigo.
to make another episode about the
I okay,
drama.
literally, someone said that I could literally do a whole episode on just the trilogy of songs. But Sabrina Carpenter, that was a mess. Sabrina Carpenter, I don't know if you listened to her song.
Have
That
you
was
listened to it? I haven't.
I listened to it yesterday because everyone's like, oh my gosh, she just threw shade the whole time. So I was like, okay, I gotta listen. And so I listened to it. It was a horrible song. Like I wasn't
Really?
impressed. Like clearly it was written after Olivia put Blonde in the song Driver's License like
Do
2
you
weeks
think
ago.
really? You think it was like
Yeah.
written in like two
Because
weeks?
one of the lyrics is like
The blonde girl one?
maybe Blonde was the only rhyme in her song.
Oh.
Like she's like maybe Blonde was the only rhyme.
Oh, and the new song? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, in Sabrina's
in
song. Okay, I thought
Midnight.
you were talking about
I don't
Olivia. I
know what
was
it's
like, what?
called.
Okay,
Like
but yeah.
Skin, something I don't know, Skin.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "What?" And the song is really bad. I don't even remember. I just remember that one line because it's all over TikTok. And
Ooh. Do other people think it's bad? Like, is it
yeah,
like a
I don't think
universal?
anyone likes it. I feel like even Joshua's song did not live up to Driver's License.
I'm glad that
I'm glad
Olivia's getting
too.
credit.
I do too because I'm just hoping it's not I can't say it publicity stunt just
Hmm.
because I feel like it is. So if you guys want a whole episode on that, I would honestly be down to do one because I feel like that would
Yeah.
literally be a great episode. And like every day I learn something new because it's all over my For You page on TikTok. It's always like,
Yeah.
it's about, okay, they always have new theories. And one of the new theories was that this was just a publicity stunt. And I was like, oh my
I don't
gosh,
think so.
I don't think so either. But like, he was like, there's no way that Sabrina could write this in 2 weeks, publish it, and get it out. But I was like, she's
And like
literally,
market it and like all that
she
stuff.
didn't market it. She like
Oh.
posted it like 3 hours before it was going to come out and said like a blank square on Instagram that said midnight. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, is she completing the
Wait.
trilogy? I don't know. So if you guys are interested in an episode on that, let me know or just DM me on like anything, not TikTok because I don't know how to do messages on TikTok, but like any other social media platform. And I would be down to talk about it. And if you guys want a whole episode, I'm down. I'm really down.
Yeah, you could do like a whole series on
I
like
could
Disney
literally,
Channel.
I could do a mini bonus episode. I haven't done a bonus episode in a while. So maybe if you guys be interested, I'd be down to talk about it. So stay tuned, everyone. But now it is
Ooh.
time to talk about the plot, which the plot of this one is the best one, arguably.
Hmm.
We've been new,
It
we
works
know
out.
this.
It flows nicely.
It actually had a climax, like in the first film. It was so
Yeah.
anticlimactic. I am really struggling with my words today, guys. But this film was actually very, very good with plot. So we start off in a scene which they are performing the song, which probably spoiler alert is my favorite song. It's like the party's just getting started
Hmm.
at like an event. They say that they're done with junior year. They've completed their ACT, whatever, which I have to take next year because I'm only a sophomore. I'm such a young
Ooh,
child.
good luck.
Yeah.
But fun fact, so when they filmed this entire movie in Barcelona. That first scene was filmed in Barcelona. The apartment scene was filmed in Barcelona.
I mean, at least they filmed it on location. Unlike some Disney films, they literally like film them in like New York when they're supposed to be in like Chicago or something.
Yeah.
And honestly, actually, one time I was in Chicago and they were filming a movie with Dwayne Johnson. I don't know, it came out like 2 years ago. It was a really big flop. It was like about a gorilla or something. And it was supposed to
Oh,
take place,
Rampage?
yeah, and it was like supposed to like take place in New York or something. And like I watched the like them filming it and I was like, oh my God. And I was gonna go see it in theaters, but then I read the reviews and it was like not good. So I didn't
Not good.
waste the money on that.
Yeah. And then a lot of like Disney movies. I'm pretty sure the first Cheetah Girls, part of it was filmed in Toronto. A lot of movies are filmed in Vancouver, Toronto, just because of like taxes, and Atlanta. A lot of movies, not really Disney movies, but a lot of like DCOMs are filmed in
Yeah,
Canada.
Disney Channel original movies DComs. They're something else. They're their own breed of movies. But
Oh yeah.
also Toronto is like a really popular filming location now, specifically in like 2021 because like COVID is like they still have COVID there, but like it's not as bad as it is in the US. So, like a lot of
Hmm.
TV shows are filming there. And also Toronto, I just love the name of Toronto. I just had a guest from Canada in my last episode, so you guys should go listen to that one.
Very cool.
All right. What were we? Okay, we were talking about they just completed their junior year of high school,
Hmm.
and now they are singing "The Party's Just Begun." Probably
Yep.
my favorite song. And they're like talking about like what are they gonna do this summer, and then um the one
They go back to the
mom,
apartment.
yeah, the one mom's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to Barcelona. Will he engage to me or will he
Oh
not
yeah.
engage me? And it's so stupid. And like Dorothy, I think her name's Dorothy or
Dorothea.
Dorothea. Oh my gosh, it's like the Taylor Swift song, Dorothea. Okay. But she's like, oh my gosh, you should just go. You don't know if he's gonna propose to you or not. And like they're having their own little tea session over there.
Yeah.
And the
And
girls are
she's
like,
looking at wedding magazines. Gallery's mom's looking at wedding magazines, and she goes, "A hat, a huge hat."
yeah, it was so funny. And then all of a sudden the girls are like, I want to go to Barcelona. And then she's like, no, you're not going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, they're so dramatic in this first part of the film. And like, the mom's like,
Hmm.
no, it's not happening. So now they're all like sad. And they decide to go up to the the bedroom with their Chinese food, which I was hungry. I watched this and it was like lunchtime one day and I was really hungry. So seeing them have Chinese food like actually really made me hungry. And so then they're like, Barcelona. I want to go to Barcelona. And they're so sad and they don't know what to do.
A
But
shooting
then
star.
there's a shooting star. And I'm pretty sure in the first film, wasn't there a shooting star? Or am I just like imagining things?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like at some point I swore, unless I'm just remembering it from like watching this movie in the past, but I was like, okay, all of a sudden there's a shooting star. Like, where did this come from? Like, come on, Disney. And then she's like Barcelona. Like she just whispers it. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden you
The
see like this
magazine.
cringy shot of like the magazine just like flipping through the pages. It goes like one way, the pages, and then it goes another way, and it lands on an ad for the Barcelona
Hmm.
up and coming competition, which is high stakes. And like they're only a little amateur group. They've only been together for like 3 years. Well, that's kind of a long time as a teen group.
Yeah, that's true.
That's almost like half as long as One Direction was together.
True. And then they like um try to call Barcelona, but then they realize it's 4 in the morning in Barcelona,
Yeah,
and then
how
they
did
wake
she
up.
know like the time difference? Like I would not be able to just be like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah, I wouldn't do it off the top of my head. And then they like go to sleep, and then they wake up at 4 a.m. and then they
Just out of the
call.
blue, like I'm pretty sure she just like woke up, like they have a shot and all of a sudden she just like wakes up and looks at the clock and she
Oh
goes,
yeah, that
"Oh
one
my
was
gosh."
weird.
Now, this is the best part. She wakes them up. "Oh my gosh, guys, we got to call Barcelona." And then they sing at 4 a.m. with perfect pitch after us being asleep for
Yeah,
like 6 hours. Perfect pitch singing their iconic Cheetah
because
Sisters.
we are sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite songs from the first movie. But like at 4 a.m., I'm a singer. Like that's one of my things I do. I sing. I could
Ooh.
not wake up at like 4 in the morning and just like roll out of bed and be like, we are sisters, and just like
Yeah.
they like do their little hand motions and like over the phone. Also, the deadline was like 2 weeks prior, they say. So like
Yeah.
they were really taking a long shot here. Like calling it like 4, well, not 4. It would have been like, I don't know what time it would have been for
Probably
Barcelona.
like
I don't know. I suck at
11.
time zone differences. Like one time, my emails, before I could figure out how to change my email marketing to my Central Standard Time, which is the time zone I'm in, it used to be in the Paris time zone, Paris, France. And so I had to look it up. And one time I sent an email out that my new episode was released like a whole day before it came out on accident. And then like some people were like, "Oh my gosh, there's no new episode." And I felt so embarrassed because I couldn't figure out the time zone difference. Even though I literally looked it up, I just was off
Oh,
because
geez.
like converting it
Yeah.
from Paris to Central Time Standard Time. However, I did finally figure out how to switch it to Standard Time,
Good.
but it just goes on to say that I could not be like, "Oh my gosh, Barcelona, it's like 10 it's 4 a.m. there." But
Yeah.
now they're like, okay, you guys can come audition in person, which is really sketchy. Like they're
Yeah.
just like
Like,
they just auditioned and they're like, oh yes, you can come to Barcelona, which I'm sure was not cheap. They like leave the next day. Like
yeah.
what? It's just
No,
so quick.
yeah, it's like if someone were like, "Hey, Isabel, do you want to come on my podcast? You have to come to Barcelona." I'm like, "Bro, no."
That's the best part about having COVID. Well, it's not like there's no good things about having COVID, but like with COVID, I figured out I can use Zoom
Yeah.
and like it's so simple compared to like what I used to do, which I'm going to say this for any new podcasters are listening. I used to just take my phone and like call them on the phone and put it next to my computer microphone. So
I love that.
the
No.
first pretty decent amount of episodes, the audio is so bad and I feel really bad. So like what I've been doing is every once in a while I'll go back and download the audio file and then put it like in Audacity and like mix and remaster it to like make it sound halfway decent.
Nice.
But so that's the best part about Zoom. And like I actually have a microphone now, which is over here because I don't have like
Oh,
one of those filters on it. I don't know what they're called, a pop
I took
filter,
mine off.
because I just don't have one. I always say that I'm gonna get one, but if I get it too close, then like it's just like you can hear it. So like that's why it's over here. But
Yeah.
yeah, so podcaster tips with Matthew and Isabel. Love it. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay, what? Okay, now they are at the airport. They like all of a sudden they're not in Barcelona, and then they cut to Barcelona, and they have like a nice wide shot of like Barcelona. It looks
We're
so amazing.
here. And then like, yeah.
And then they like just get off the plane and then they go down to like they sit down at this little table and this waiter comes and like the only one that
Bring some
knows
cokes and
Spanish.
like water.
Yeah, the only one that knows Spanish, only one of them knows Spanish and
Chanel.
Chanel. And so the waiter comes and like he doesn't know what Galleria is saying. And I wrote it down because I took a note. She was like, "Okay, so I want a Coke in a glass filled to the top with ice with like a lemon, but don't open the Coke yet and like freezing cold." Like what?
Yeah.
It was
No, I
so
would just be like, "Can I
specific.
have water or something? Like
Yeah,
aqua?"
I don't even drink soda. So like I mean I used to, but like I don't drink it anymore. But like just like the Coke and lemon just doesn't sound
Yeah, I've never
appealing.
had that before.
And like it was just so weird. She's like filled to the top with ice and then a lemon wedge. Don't open the Coke, still in the can. And then she like has to translate it, and like the waiter just looks at them like you're
What?
crazy.
Who are you? Yeah.
It was so funny. I loved it. That scene was funny. And then all of a sudden you see Angel come
Angel.
down. He comes down. He's literally like an angel because he's like 5 stories up above them.
He comes down the stairs and he goes, "Oh my," and then the girls are like, "Oh my gosh, it's beautiful music."
I know. It was so cringy. And then all of a sudden, like he's singing like a slow romantic song. And then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, they're singing
Strut.
Strut. And like they're dancing in the middle of the street. Like they're going in all these alleys. And then the waiter comes back with like their Coke and he's like, wait, don't go.
Yeah.
That scene was so hilarious. I frankly, that is probably one of my favorite scenes just because of the way that they do it. And Strut is just iconic. And like the way that they're
Mm-hmm.
like dancing in like the middle of the street and like all the tourists are like looking at them like, oh my god. Like those are the
Yeah.
people from America. Like, ooh.
Whoa.
It
Strut is a really
was,
good song, and I really liked how they like went all through like Barcelona and did
and they
it
like
instead of just like
strutted. quote unquote,
Yeah.
like throughout like entire Barcelona. It was
And
great.
they didn't like stay in one place, which sometimes like that can happen in like other like
Yeah,
DCOMs and stuff.
and like you could
Mm.
tell like one of the scenes was like basically filmed as the sun was setting, and then the next like clip of them dancing is like in broad daylight. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like,
Oh, I'll have to like rewatch like the
one of the
strut and see
scenes
if I could.
is like in, I think when they're like dancing with like a thing in the background, and like there's a lot of people, like it's a far back shot, and I was like, okay, it looks kind of dark, and then the next like set of them dancing is like bright as day. I was like, oh,
Really,
okay.
I love like looking for those and just seeing like I can really tell, um, especially on Disney Channel shows now. Like, let's say one shot their hair is like this, and then the
Mm-hmm.
other shot their hair is like. Sorry, I'm like doing this on Zoom. Like their
Completely
hair is like
different.
the other way, or like I
Yeah.
love trying to tell like in between shots. Like, oh
Yeah, as
yeah,
a
you
kid,
know.
I would never notice that, but
But now
like
I do.
watching, I do. Like I was watching one of my shows not too long ago. I don't know what it was, and I was like, wait, she was not wearing that outfit like 2 seconds ago, and like they completely switched her outfit, like we weren't gonna notice. And like even like watching, like I was watching a show this week like came back like from their COVID break or whatever, and you could tell like what they filmed before COVID and then after COVID. Because like their hair was like
What show is it?
it was Riverdale. And don't judge me, I know the show sucks. Don't
I don't. I've never
judge.
seen Riverdale.
I don't know. It gets so much hate, and the only reason that I watch it is because I watched it when it first came out, and I was a huge fan of it. But then it got really bad. But the only reason I'm still watching is because I'm invested, because I've been there since the beginning. So I want to see
Hmm.
the ending, because I'm just like a person that gets so invested easily. So I know it's stupid. You guys can all come at me in the comment. No, this isn't YouTube, but like in my DMs. But you could tell like what was filmed before COVID, and like one of the girls during COVID got pregnant. So then they like had to like cover her up
Oh, you can
because,
like tell.
yeah, and I was like, okay. It was just like really crazy, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. But that's
Yeah.
what happens when you want to be a person that goes into film. You just like notice all these different things.
Yeah, yeah. I've especially noticed it in like the last year, just like different like film stuff. But that's really
Yeah.
cool about like the sunset thing. And
I
then
don't know. It
after
just
they,
looked really dark. I don't know if they like, put a filter on it or whatever. I was
okay,
like, why would you put a filter on it? But
yeah.
then from there, now they're in Barcelona, and then they go to audition and they earn a spot, which is
Mm-hmm.
very fun. They just sing like 10 seconds of their song Cheetah Sisters, and they're like, you're in. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, I honestly could not. I don't have enough talent for them to just be like, give me 10 seconds and then be like, yeah, you're in.
Yeah. That yeah. Oh my gosh. Now like I feel like real auditions are like 4 rounds.
Oh my
It's
gosh, real
like
auditions are scary. They're scary. There's no other word to describe it. And then from the next scene, the thing that I pointed out is then all of a sudden we have Joaquin, who's the dancer, and they tango, but then not too long ago they meet Marisol, and when
mm-hmm.
we first meet her, her outfit is a statement. Like her pants, like one of
Yes.
her
With like
leg
the
is
jeans.
like one of her legs is like she's wearing short shorts, and then like there's like one whole leg. I was like, what is this?
Was that even I don't even know if that was a trend. Was that like a trend back
I
then?
hope it wasn't a trend. Like I was just like, I literally just wrote down in quotation marks Marisol's pants question mark, because I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. Like you already know Disney would never do that today.
oh no, they wouldn't do it. Like, I hope that wasn't a trend. Like, I really hope that wasn't a trend. I don't know too much about early 2000s fashion, to be honest with you guys, but that was just like not a fan for
I know
me.
like the basics. I
Yeah,
mean,
like the first Cheetah Girls is like early 2000s fashion, like the
mm-hmm.
pantsuits and the jumpsuits. But this film, oh, I hope that
Oh.
wasn't a trend. But those pants, I love how as soon
And
as
her
I
hat,
said,
the pink hat.
yeah, as soon as I said Marisol's, like in that one scene with Marisol, I love how you just went to the pants, because that just like shows that it
Yeah,
just
it's
made such an
iconic.
impression. Okay, from there they start to befriend her and her mom, but then Lola, the evil Lola, is like trying to come up with a scheme so that they win, and she's like, "You guys know you guys aren't gonna win. It's only your first try."
Yeah. And then she's like behind the scenes, she's like, you need to like she was talking to Marisol, she goes, you need to get with Chanel because I saw how you and Chanel sang like the other night and you can win this with her. Like you can't win this by yourself, but you can win this with her.
Yeah, so rude, so rude. No, we do not stand. We do not stand Lola.
Mm-mm.
But it was just so funny. And then from there, the only person that ever seems to care is Galleria, as always. And so she's like the only one that cares, and she starts to like get mad
Just
at them because she's
yeah.
like, I'm the only one that cares. Like, we need to get our crap
We need to
together for
like
this
start.
competition.
Yeah.
And I was like honestly glad because it felt like one of those group projects where like you're the only one doing the work for the group project, which is like a
Yeah.
whole mood because I'm the only one that ever does any of the work for the group
Oh
project.
jeez.
But I was just like, okay. So she's like, guys, no, we got to get our crap together. So then they do
Mm-hmm.
that. And then now they're at the train station, which this scene was kind of cringy. Like Gallery is like just there, and she's like really mad at them because they're not doing their work. And then all of a sudden, like you hear them singing, "We are sisters," and
Yeah.
like it sounds really like off because it's written for 4-part harmony, and they're like, "It's written for 4-part harmony. We can't do this without you." I was like, okay, so now you decide that you want to care. I was
Yeah.
like, what? But now they're back together, and now they're like, okay, we need to do this.
And then they go sing at the dancing cat, get caught.
Yeah, and then they get kicked out because they got evil Lola back at it again and picking on these poor girls. Like,
Yep.
pack it up. And so, then also Luke proposes,
Yeah.
and he's like, can I marry your mother? And she's like, sure. Like, she knew this was coming. Like, this is the whole reason they're in Barcelona. And I was like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
what were they trying to do with like that whole scene?
I don't know.
And then he's like, you can stay in New York for your senior year,
Yeah.
which is cute. But then what happens is evil Lola gets them kicked out. Basically, they can't perform as a group, which is basically her way of getting Chanel to perform with Marisol. And Marisol is like not happy with her mom, which I was actually kind of glad because I feel like Marisol could have just like gladly been like, oh my gosh, if I get Chanel on board, I could win.
Yeah.
So like I think that's the best part is that she was like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Like you did this on purpose. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah, go off, I guess.
Yeah.
And then from there, Angel tells them that Lola is the evil and that she's trying to sabotage them. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, he's like, okay, no, you guys can be back in the competition. So then
Yeah.
Lola's like, no, that's against the rules. Like, that's not going to happen. And then he's like, I don't want to hear it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he was like not having it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And Angel's uncle is him.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that because he's like, my nephew told me about this, and then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
who's your nephew? And then he like comes walking
Angel.
down. He's like up above again with his guitar, and it's like a whole like bonding moment. And I was like,
Yes.
ooh. From there now, Marisol's like she like tells her off, and I was like, yes. Because she finally decided to be independent and she quits the
Yeah.
competition because she doesn't want to be famous and her mom is just so desperate for her to become famous, which I
Yeah.
honestly respect a lot.
Yeah. And she's all like, Ma, and then Lola was like, "This is your dream," and then and then Marisol was like, "No, Mom, this is your dream."
Oh, that was iconic. That was a great quote. I love that quote. And
Yeah.
from there, they perform with their iconic outfits. At first, like Gallery is wearing this really big like veil thing, kind of similar. A good comparison would be to like what Lady Gaga was wearing at the inauguration this week. If you guys saw that video, her like dress was like really long, and like so Gallery like comes up and she's like, "This is for Barcelona," and
Yeah.
then it's like really cringy, like a whole like 2 minutes of just like silence, and then he like starts playing, and then like she takes off like the back of her dress, like I don't know what it's called, like a
Damn.
train maybe,
Yeah.
and then they like all come out and they perform Amiga Cheetahs, and then they bring on Marisol and she sings a great song, and then Lola's like betrayed because she said that she was gonna quit. So then like there's like this whole thing going on, and then Joaquin comes on dancing, Angel's playing his guitar,
Yeah.
and then you
Playing.
see the director who is playing the trumpet, which I always wanted to learn how to play the trumpet, but it seems like a
Yeah.
lot of
I feel like
work.
it would be pretty cool.
I also wanted to play the saxophone, but like kind of seems like hard. So then the crowd loves it. They go crazy for the Cheetah Girls. The Cheetah Girls like become the next big thing.
Yup.
And then all of a sudden you see like them all happy, and then they like dance off and they go off into the crowd, and it just ends. Like
Yeah.
it's a very odd ending. Like I get what they were going for. Like they were going for the big finale and then it ends. Like I would have liked to like see them kind of like Marisol maybe like forgive her mom or like kind of grow off
Yeah.
it a
Like
little
maybe
bit.
like
But the movie was already longer than the usual average DCOM, so I get like they were probably like, yeah, we got to hurry this up.
yeah.
So it was good, and honestly, I have no complaints. This movie is just, it's constantly has something going on. The story is better, the songs are better than the first
hmm
one, the
The
plot is
outfits.
better, the outfits, okay, I have to pick a favorite outfit, and I think my favorite outfit is frankly probably the one in the finale, even though it's really obnoxious, Galleria's finale outfit when she first comes out, and
I was gonna say the same thing.
her hair, like she's wearing a hat and her like hair is like coming out of the top. I was like, that's very iconic.
But the
That was
thing
really iconic.
is, Disney DComs now could never do those types of outfits.
They
No.
literally don't. The DComs today, for anyone who is a fan of the DComs today, I'm about to break your hearts, but the DComs today are sucky. They're really bad.
Horrible. What was
They're
the
not good.
last best DCOM you saw?
That's a really good one. So I was actually, this is probably the best. The last halfway decent one was probably Bad Hair Day,
Okay.
which is, it's not great. It's like, it's mediocre.
Yeah.
It was like the last halfway decent one. However, I didn't mind the Descendants franchise. The Descendants ones are excluded from the DCOM list because I thought all of them were halfway decent. But the last probably good one was probably like in 2013, maybe like Cloud 9, maybe. Like that's kind of far
Okay.
away because Teen Beach 2, anyone who's listened to my episode on that, it's my longest one I've ever done. The entire time I'm just bashing it with my friend Sarah how bad it is because they literally just like erased the whole first film,
Yeah.
and I was like, no. So I think that was probably Cloud 9. I loved that movie, but I feel like Descendants were pretty good. The third one would
hmm
probably be, I don't like zombies. I can't stand zombies.
Really? I didn't hate the first
Okay,
zombies.
the first one is okay. The second one, I haven't even covered it, but like when I do finally cover it, I just didn't like it. And I know
Okay.
that I'm gonna get hate for that because I have a couple younger Disney Channel fans for that listen to the
We love you,
podcast.
young
We
ones.
love you, but you guys need to like go back in time and like watch the good DComs, please,
Yeah.
because like if you
What's
think
your
zombies
least
is
favorite
good,
DCOM?
oh, this is a really good one. Honestly, the word I will say, because I haven't seen all of them, but from the ones I've seen and reviewed so far on the podcast, it is a tie between Girl versus Monster, starring Olivia Holt,
Yes. Yes.
and Teen Beach 2 so
Okay.
far.
I don't remember a lot of Teen Beach. I don't remember a lot of Teen Beach 2, but I
That's a
do
good
remember
thing
Girl
for
vs.
you.
Monster,
That's
and
a
that was
good
not
thing.
good.
I'm glad you don't remember it. You don't need to remember it. No, yeah, Girl versus Monster, who I covered with my friend Ashley. As a kid, I'll be fair. As a kid, I loved it. Only because Olivia Holt was in it, frankly.
hmm
But the when I rewatched it for my like in October, I did like all Halloween DComs.
hmm
I hated it. I think I gave it like a 3 out of 10.
Oh
And
God,
that was being generous.
that was yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I do remember it, and that
Yeah,
was pretty bad.
so you guys, if you guys need to go listen to the episode though, because it's a good episode with my friend, it's just the stuff we're talking about isn't very good. However, I think I also really don't like the Sweet Life decom that much that they did. I just feel
Okay,
like it didn't fit the theme of like the whole series, and I was
I
really
don't remember
sad.
that one that much.
Yeah, that's
Is
probably a
that the
good
so?
thing.
Is that the one where they're in the Bermuda Triangle, or is that an episode?
I feel like that's an episode. This
Oh
is like
wow.
one where they're like doing a twin project where like they're taking it as an experiment. The last time I watched it, I didn't even make it halfway through and I just stopped watching. However, I did do my least favorite DComs episode a while back, but I think I might
Ooh,
have deleted it a while because I got some hate. That was when I actually was scared to get hate, but now I'm really not scared to get hate. But it was
no.
basically it was Cheetah Girls 3, Sweet Life, and I don't know what the other one was, and I can't remember. It was probably Girl versus Monster.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, so if I had to rate this one on a scale of 10, I gave it a 9 out of 10, which I feel like might be a little high, but it's just really good.
Yeah, I would
I
also probably say a 9 out of 10. And this is probably one of my favorite DCOMs.
Yeah. I feel like I say this I made a TikTok about this not too long ago to the sound where it's like people get exhausted trying to figure me out, and it's like me when I say it's one of my favorites for every decom. But
Yeah.
I feel like this, no, truthfully, this High School Musical 2, which I think is the best High School Musical, arguably some people might disagree. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well as Cowbells. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie starring
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Allie and AJ Machaka. I did an episode on that not too long ago. Those are probably my top 3 right now, but it changes every time I do an episode. But at the end, once I eventually cover all DCOMs, which is going to be very, very far down the road, I'm going to do a whole episode where I rank them. Because,
Ooh,
but
that's
here's the thing: I need to start keeping track of what I give the DCOMs, like at the end of the episode, so I can like look. So I'm gonna have to go back in all other 69, because this is episode 70. I don't know if I said this in the episode,
that's
episode
so
70.
exciting.
Okay, but I'd have to go like back in the other 69 episodes and just be like, okay, I gave this a 5, I gave this a 1, or I don't know.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned for that, guys. But if this movie came out on Disney Channel today, I don't think it would do as well because it's just so early 2000s. I feel like that's the only reason.
Yes.
I feel like I also said that for the first one, but this movie, girl groups, like I can't even think of a girl group today. Like I feel like they're just like
A lot of them
Spice
are
Girls.
like the Fifth Harmony.
I think they broke up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they broke up too.
Maybe Little Mix. Little Mix might be.
Yeah.
But I feel like they are on their way of breaking up because I'm pretty sure like their lead singer left, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like recent girl groups. Okay, Fifth Harmony, that's like not a thing anymore. Blackpink, is that a
Yeah, I mean that's K-pop. I am not really into K-pop.
Neither am I.
I can't get it. I do like the song though. My sister hates it. Dynamite by BTS.
Mm-hmm,
It's a really good pump up song. And like I love any song that like makes me like actually want to do work. And I just feel like that's a good song. And it's like
it's a good like song that like everyone enjoys. Like I don't think it's like
strictly K-pop, I feel like. But yeah. So I just feel like it wouldn't do as good. And I feel like that's all I could say is that it's just so early 2000s outfits, hair, music. The music. Also, this movie, if I had to pick a favorite from this one, it probably is the first song, Parties Just Started, I think that's what it's called, or Just Getting Started. It's really good. Or Strut, but I'm pretty sure that's also in the first movie, but they like do like a remix in this film a little bit, because like it's like the Barcelona version. I don't know what they call it on the soundtrack. But, or the finale, Amiga Cheetahs, was also really good. However, I didn't like how like they tried to like make it Spanish because they're in Barcelona, but they like threw in like one Spanish verse and like one Spanish word, which was Amigas. But it also slaps. Like it's a really good song.
Mm-hmm.
And the choreography, finale, guitar, everything was good. So what are your favorites?
My favorite songs are Dance With Me, and I know that's like not really sung by the Cheetah Girls, but it's like it's on my Spotify Wrapped like every year. Dance With Me, and then maybe Party Has Just Begun.
Yeah, those are probably my favorites. So usually this wraps up the podcast, usually. But if you have like any fun facts or anything you want to plug before I do my outro, which I do. So like if you want to talk about your podcast, be like, follow me on Instagram, get those followers.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else or anything Cheetah Girls 2 related or any other fun facts, but thank you so much for having me. We will definitely be back because I'm a Disney Channel. I grew up with Disney Channel.
Me too. It's great. It's iconic. And also, hopefully, eventually, I will be on Isabel's podcast talking about Disney Channel, which that'd be cool.
I would definitely like that in the future.
So
I don't know what
definitely,
movie we would talk about.
We could honestly just do a general thing, honestly, because then I could tell all my Disney Channel stories because I have a lot of them. So maybe if you guys would be interested in that, let us know on our socials and we'll make it happen. So follow Isabel on Instagram, which is just.isabel.things podcast. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
there might be another dot.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. And then you can follow me on TikTok, just Isabel Things Podcast. I post a new episode every Sunday on all popular podcast streaming platforms. I talk about pretty much everything, and I don't think I have anything else to say, but thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I'm sorry about my Wi-Fi issues.
Honestly, I feel like that's a good thing because I always love writing the episode descriptions because like I put puns in it. Like in the first one, I was like, this is a Cheetah-licious episode about a great DCOM or whatever. So I always like be like, oh, and then they have an internet connection issue along the way. Like it's so cringy. But like I try to make it sound like it's like a Disney Channel ad. Because like in the Disney Channel ads, they're always like really cringy. So like basically all my descriptions sound like a Disney Channel ad. So I can be like, they had an internet connection issue. So, but thank you so much, Isabel, for coming on the podcast. I had a great time. And if you guys enjoyed Isabel in this episode, you guys need to follow her podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you guys can follow me at That's So Matthew and check out all my cool posts. I try to do a motivational Monday every week. I'm trying to do 2 Cheetah Girls motivational ones for the 2 Cheetah Girls episodes. So hopefully I actually follow through with that. Make sure to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and Isabel a review on Apple Podcasts. And what else? What else can you do for me? You guys can follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to be active and grow on TikTok. It's so hard, guys.
We both are.
It's so hard to grow. Like I've been like trying to I've been watching like how to grow on TikTok. So I've been trying that. I haven't checked if like my recent TikTok did good, but we'll see. What else? Go to my website and you guys can buy my merch. What else? If I get to 1,000 followers on Instagram, I'm going to do another giveaway. So follow me there. And what else? I feel like there's something I'm missing.
Newsletter? Subscribe to the newsletter? Did you say that?
Yes. Do that. Just subscribe to the newsletter. I'm trying to grow the newsletter because I know like people don't do emails. I feel like for teenagers, like emails are like not that popular anymore. But you guys can still subscribe because
I love getting your newsletter.
Oh my God. Thank you. That's so sweet. I actually am doing a whole blog post about newsletters for podcasts. Also, check out my blog on my website. I just recently did a Q&A with all your questions about starting a podcast. I'm currently still writing it when we're recording. However, it's out when you guys are listening. And it took me so long, but I think you guys are going to like it because I get so many questions. I get like 500,000 questions a day about how to start your own podcast. So I decided to put it into a blog post so I can just like send them the link whenever I get
I made an entire episode about it. I'm just like, go listen to the episode.
I also have an episode on that, episode 35 of the podcast, which seems like forever ago because it was. But thank you guys for listening. I'm not going to ramble any longer and take up the rest of your day. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.